And the bottom line, if you know Coach Northern, you just like to win. Regardless of the excuses or what happened this game or weather or lack of players, you want to win.
I think that's with any coach or any coach worth his weight in salt. You know, and I tell my guys I hate losing more than I like winning. You know, everybody loves to win, but at the end of the day, you have to be competitive down to your core if you want to be successful. And we're judged by wins or losses. It don't matter how many points you win or lose by, but if you're winning, people going to accept you. If you're not winning, they're going to try to find a way to replace you. So my goal is to win, not only for me, but for these young men and for this university. And we've proven that we can win at Prairie, and we want to get back to those winning ways.
What was the most disappointing, aspect about last season for you?
The biggest thing was just those close losses. I think you can almost take it better when you know you don't have the horses to compete. But when you lose a lot of games in the last quarter, when you lose 2 games basically on the last play of the game, I think those hurt you a little bit more because you know some guys gave it their all, but it was one thing here or there. And we talk about ants and mosquitoes killing people. It's not the big thing. It's always the small things that you can look back. Right. And whenever you lose in close games, I think you tend to linger on it a little bit longer. If we had done this one thing a little bit different, if we had done this one thing a little bit different, when you get your butt beat, it's just okay. We'll just regroup. But when there's one thing, you always question one play call, one guy missing a tackle, one guy dropping a pass. So we want to correct those mistakes and correct them in a hurry.
Let's talk about this guy next to you. Played in 11 games last season, and I mean you can talk about padding stats all you want, but 90 tackles is 90 tackles.
Yes, sir.
Talk about this guy next to you, Jerome Howard.
Well, the thing about it, he came back from a torn ACL that he tore late in the season, his freshman year, and he came back and did an outstanding job rehabbing. He's one of the more serious guys on our team. He's an outstanding student, as well as a leader on our ball club, and he's a young leader. You know, I tell our guys, you don't have to be a senior in order to lead on our ball club, but he's a mature young man, and he leads in action and by word as well. So we look forward to him getting out there. He's a high football IQ as well as a high classroom IQ.
Okay. Jerome, talk about last season. Again, 90 tackles. Let me read this entire stat line. So I want to make sure we pull up this guy the right way. 15 tackles for a loss, recorded 1 sack, 7 breakups, 7 passes defended, 2 quarterback hurries, and 1 forced fumble. Obviously, you weren't nervous about coming back from an ACL injury.
No, not at all. When when you're up in the summer, you're putting in that work, and a lot of times you just have to have faith in the work that you put in and faith in the man above.
Okay, I hear. I like that response. Now, what high school did you go to out of Fort Lauderdale now?
I attended Plantation High School.
Plantation High. Well, talk about this season. I just talked with Coach Northern about some of the disappointments from last year, and talk about how can you improve on what you guys had last season and make it for better this year.
Like Coach said, I don't know if he mentioned it here, but we lost a lot of time, a lot of practice time due to APR issues. So with us having a little more practice time, that also helped. Me personally, I have to, like everyone said, all the players are young in this conference, so I have to get on some of the younger players and kind of, be that big brother for them. Introducing them to the program, get with them, help them with their plays. I just have to be a better leader, more vocal.
Right.
And then, I have to step up. As you see, with 90 tackles going 3-8, that's not enough. So I'm obviously going to have to go for 120 or better. I got to step up my play.
That's a good goal to set. Another guy on the offensive line that's going to anchor your line this year, Trey Glover. And I can see where some of your disappointment comes from. You led the league in a league best in yards per game with 414, but it didn't exactly translate into wins with 6.1 yards per play. So talk about how Trey Glover can further help anchor that offensive line.
Well, Trey is much like Jerome. Both of them are younger guys. They're both going into their junior year on the field, but both of those guys are very mature. They do outstanding in the classroom, and they're engaging widely or gladly accepting that role of being more of a vocal leader, more of a demonstrative leader. Hey, man, listen to what coach is saying, not how he's saying it, those types of things. Hey, make sure in this situation, this is what we're going to do. Just being able to talk to guys and get everyone on the same page. And he talked to me these guys I probably talk to more than any other players on the team, but they talk to me about the pulse of the team. Hey, Trey say, Coach, you know something? We had a lot of distractions last year, whether it was off the field, guys dealing with financial aid, guys dealing with their landlords, whatever the situation is, they bring things to me, and I know as a coach now, hey, I got to make sure I have a team that's not distracted.
That's right.
And that should make us a better football team, that in itself. My philosophy was, once I get on the football field, it's about football. Well, some of those guys were, and they would tell me, Coach, it's hard for a guy to concentrate when he got his landlord bothering him about his rent check.
That's right.
It's hard for a guy to concentrate when he got this teacher that's on his butt about, he's missed class the last 3 Fridays,
right,
and he may be failing his biology class that he needs to graduate. So there's a whole lot more to it than just X's and O's, football stuff. These guys talk to me and help me become a better coach from an off-the-field standpoint, dealing with those distractions, as they say.
Absolutely. Now, historically, you look at Prairie View just from an athletic standpoint. Historically, your school wins. Your women's basketball team, 3 straight SWAC basketball championships. The basketball team, the men's basketball team, made it to the championship game. You had some success in baseball. You have a new AD now with Ashley, who previously used to work. He had a previous stint with you guys as well. Talk about your new AD there.
Well, I think he's going to bring us a little bit different aspect, being a former student athlete. Nothing against Mr. Walsh, because we had success under our previous 2 administrators that were not college student athletes, but he can bring a little bit more from this is what our kids are going through, this is what they don't need to go through aspect of the college life. But we look forward to it. I think one big thing is just a different communication mode as well. He's a little bit more direct, which I appreciate. But I think overall our program, like I say, is known for winning now. We won the last 2 Commissioners' Cup, and as the head football coach, I feel like I didn't do anything to contribute to us winning that Commissioners' Cup. It's like I'm embarrassed to take a picture. That's just the pride in me that, it's like, if you're a father and you didn't bring any food into the house after a hunting trip, it's hard for you to look your kids in the eye when you didn't help do anything for that meal. And that's sort of the way I feel, that we have to do something for the athletic department to say, hey, here's our part of the gumbo, as you would say.
Right.
Here's our part of this meal that we got, we helping everyone else bring to the table as well.
I like that comparison. Now, I like gumbo, too, so that's a very good one. And you're a Southern alum.
Yes, sir.
And you coached at Grambling. And I know you like to beat both of them, of course. You had a stint with Doug Williams previously as an assistant, correct?
Yes, sir.
I know you love to beat both of those guys, right?
I like beating anybody. My wife was coaching the other team. I love to beat them. So, I'm taking no prisoner. I tell my guys, when I take my 6-year-old son fishing with me, I don't let him catch more fish than me. I'm that competitive. So, but I want to beat anybody that I'm playing against. It doesn't matter. And I want Prairie View to beat everybody that we're playing against, non-conference, conference, classic or not. I want us to win the football game.